Hi there, and thank you for your order via Fiverr.com. This is a video review of tutorial7.com. Along with this video review, you've also received an external notepad document which has resources that can help you along with some of the points I've mentioned within here. So, let's jump straight in. First of all, I come onto your website and I instantly see in the top right hand side of your navigation you have Twitter and some other links. First of all, looking at your Twitter account, at the moment you're not utilising Twitter to its full potential. You do have a customised background, but your profile picture is blurry and so is your customised background. It doesn't really show off your website as well as it can do. To increase your search engine rank and your listings at the moment, and also to promote your business more, you need to create a social media buzz. And with a background like this, you're not really doing that. What I recommend you do is improve your Twitter background, and it's easy for you to do. All you need to do is use better images, maybe put important links in place, such as links to your Facebook page if you have one, your website, a brief about us section, or anything else to better show off your website rather than what we currently have. You could always stick with what you currently have, but just make it actually a more high quality image, because right now everything is blurry and stretched out wrong. Going back to your website, here we see that you have an RSS feed. Now, it's great they've got an RSS feed, and it's great that you've linked it in with FeedsBurner. However, we currently have an issue. This is an external link, yet you've opened it in the same tab as your website. This means we're currently redirected away from your website. We could either become distracted by this page or close it down, which in turn closes your website down as well. So whenever you have an external link on your website, you should always make sure it opens within a new tab. And you do this by adding the target attribute with the definition of blank. Once again, you can read more about this within the external resources document. Now, you're currently allowing us to subscribe to your RSS feed with those readers, but something great about about FeedsBurner is you don't have to subscribe just like that. You can also subscribe via email. So I recommend you take the email subscription tool and place it on your website as well. So users can subscribe not only to the newsletter you already have in place, but also directly to your RSS feed. This will bring in more traffic and connect with your users better. RSS feeds are very important because they help to update users about content on your website, even if they're not visiting your website. It's a way to externally update them and bring them back to your site. It's very important to bring old users back. It's all well and good to have 10,000 hits a month, but if they don't return, you're always going to have 10,000. But if you build a base that constantly returns, then you'll see your web rank going up, your page rank going up, your traffic levels going up, all of these things. So it's important that you offer as many subscription options or the best subscription options available. So you currently have FeedsBurner, which is fantastic, but bring in that email option as well, which once again you can read in the external resources document. Now we come down onto your page, and here we can see you have a lot, and I mean a lot, of text content to initially talk about your site. Now it's good that you've got this text content to fill in the users, but it is a lot of text content, and this text content alone may actually scare people away from your website. So what you need to do is actually engage with users better. If you use losers on your homepage, this increases something known as a bounce rate, which is a rate at which people come on your website and leave on the first page. So you need to keep this low, and you need to connect and engage with your users. So along with this current text content, what I recommend creating is either a slideshow to briefly sum up the points you do, or a marketing/promotional video. Now personally, I would recommend the latter. Bring on a marketing/promoting video where you can basically introduce yourself or introduce your website and give a brief insight into what your site is all about, and connect with users and bring them into your site more, rather than this big block of text we see which could easily scare us off. It's not fair to assume that users know what your site is about, so you should always explain it to them well. Now another point to mention is all about branding and web marketing. Now your website currently doesn't have a logo. It has this text here. It has this text here, which is created Sorry, it is saved as an image, but it isn't what I would really call a logo. It's just standardized text with a bit of a shadow on the back. Now, to really stand out and to market your brand and to have people recognize you across the web, it's important to create a logo. So bring a logo into play. It will not only make you look more professional, but it also will help, as I say, to brand across the web. People will recognize your logo, come to your website, be tempted to revisit your website, or just be taken back by the actual logo design itself and want to inquire about what your website is all about. Now we come down further on your homepage, and here we can see fresh 2012 articles. Now it's good that you've listed your newest articles, however they're not really standing out to me. Just having text links isn't a great way to entice me to click these articles. So what I recommend you do is have these text links, but also have the thumbnail of an image within inside the article as well. This will motivate me to click and it will grab my attention. If possible, you could also have a quick snippet from the article, maybe the first 100 characters. So it would be thumbnail, link, and then 100 characters underneath. This will entice me to basically come on to these articles, read about them, and then possibly share them, etc. So for example, as we can see here, this excellent, we can see that these titles or text links don't always give away the full information, and they don't really inspire us, but giving snippets and having these thumbnails will. Now, as I mentioned, your website currently does have a lot of text content, all within, all on the homepage, etc. And it has so much text content that this means the density of your actual keywords is ranking very small. So you need to improve this. And a great way to improve this is to create inbound links. Now, an inbound link is basically a keyword or phrase linked to your homepage URL. So what this does is search engines come onto your website, they see the keyword or phrase associated with the homepage URL, they put the two and two together and start ranking you for that keyword or phrase. So you need to choose around 5 to 6 main keywords or phrases and create these inbound links. A great place to put these inbound links is in your footer, underneath the current information. It's great in the footer because it's out of the way, so it only appeases to search engines, but it's also consistent across all of your website, so you're giving this information to search engines all across your site. Now, let's delve a little bit further into your website. So, for example, let's go to a product page. Now, we come down onto this page, we have a marketing video, which you should also, as I say, have on the home page, but this is great. You have great modern graphics, bullet points with ticks, which is great for subconscious marketing, screenshots that we can click through and view more information. Although going back to the main screen does seem to be a little bit confusing. It seems we can only skip between them. So that is something that needs to be amended. I can't really see how I can go back to what I was originally viewing. So maybe a link or an image for that. Then we have all the information as we wish to see. Further videos to sell the case, and then the buy now button. Now, you're currently processing your orders via PayPal. And if we go to PayPal, we can see that you've designed your PayPal screen, which is fantastic. However, there are other tools that PayPal gives you which can also help to improve conversions on your site. And a great tool that they give you is called a verification seal. And what this allows you to do is put a PayPal verified seal on your website which ties into PayPal. And when we click this seal, it will take us to PayPal. It will show you it will show us your email address. It will show us how long you've been verified for. It will show us that you are verified, and it will give us a brief description about what being verified means. This helps to accredit you as a seller, not only in general, but also on the PayPal platform, because obviously just having a PayPal account doesn't make you a reputable seller, but being verified helps you to get there. So once again, have a look in the external resources document, and I've provided the link to that seal within there. Now, there are a couple of things that these pages are lacking. First thing this page is lacking is your social media options. Now, as I say, social media and a social media buzz is important for search engine ranks, but it's also important to get your product information out there. So what I recommend you do on this page is add in a Facebook like option, a Twitter tweet option, and a Google +1 option to be able to hit 3 of the main platforms with 3 different types of consumers on it to bring in more traffic to your website. And then when they're on the website and they're on this product page, the final thing this page is missing is basically customer testimonials. At the moment, you're talking to possible users as a business to a user. What you need to do is engage your users with previous users and bring in peer-to-peer marketing so they trust the opinion of their peers, basically, and not just as a business, because obviously the business can be seen as being biased. So bring in customer testimonials. These could be video reviews, or they could be text snippets, or they could be actors/actresses reading out a text snippet. Obviously, they wouldn't say they're reading it, but you could portray that they're reading this. So this way, you will connect with users. Users will come onto your website. They will see other users have had great success, trust them, and then once again, commit to your product. This could be something which could literally turn them from being on the fence to committing. So it's very important you use peer-to-peer marketing. Now, moving on to the blog aspect of your website. As all your product pages are pretty much the same layout, they all need the same kind of work. So we look at the web design aspect of your blog. We come down, we can see you've got links and you've got text. So what I recommend you add in place here is simple. You got your link, you got your text. I want to see a thumbnail. I want to see a main image of this article as well. Grab me in. Also on this page, I want to see the social media sharing links to easily share these articles quickly. So thumbnail and social media sharing links. Then we go into read more information. And here once again, we can see something that this page is lacking, and that is images. To really sell an article to me, or to really have me read an article, you need to make it presentable. You've presented it in terms of structure, but you haven't presented it in terms of content. So what you need to do is bring in images and really basically connect with me as a user and make me want to read. Because at the moment, this looks like a large bulk of text and I'm put off to read it. However, if this was cut up with images that drew me in, I'd be far more likely to read it, share it, and bring more traffic to your website. Then we're here on this page, we can see you've got social media sharing options. So as I say, bring them onto your products and also bring them onto your category pages. And then we come down and then we see your comment forms. Your comment forms are styled and they've got capture, which is fantastic. But as I mentioned on the homepage, you have Twitter and you have a sidebar. Now, you're not utilising Twitter to its full example. For one, that your background, as I say, needs improving. But two, Twitter, similar to PayPal, gives you loads of widgets or plugins that you can use on your site to improve user experience. And one of these great plugins is a live Twitter feed. And what this allows you to do is to show live tweets from your account on your website. So, what this shows users is not only snippets of news and information and keeps them up to date, but it also shows users by seeing that you tweeted via your website XX hours ago or XX days ago, etc. We can see that you're an active online entity and we'll be more likely to purchase from your site. Because obviously, at the end of the day, if a website is just information based and we don't see very much information being updated, then we wonder how live the site is. However, if we see Twitter's being updated every day, then we've got no qualms that your site is active and we'll be happy to purchase with you. So a great place to put this live Twitter feed would be in your sidebar. And once again, have a look in the external resources document and you can see the link to the widget there. Now, before I come off of this page and go further, there is one point to mention, and that's about the navigation of your site. At the moment, your navigation looks like so. It stands out, but every single time we change pages, the navigation looks the exact same. So what you actually want to do is help users to navigate, and a great way to help users to navigate is to highlight the current page they're on. So for example, if I'm on the blog page or the SEO tutorials page, how about having a background highlight on this element to show me this is the section we're in? Because at the moment your website goes quite deep. It goes from the blog into the category into the article. That is 3 sections deep and users can become confused as to where exactly they've gone. So how about showing us exactly where we are by styling the current page we're on? This is called current page tabbing or current page tabs, and it's done via CSS design, which once again you can read more about within the external resources document. Something else you need your website to have in place with navigation is breadcrumbs. Now breadcrumbs are basically what they sound like. You've heard many fairy tales where people put breadcrumbs down to find their way back. Well, that's what we want. And what you usually see with breadcrumbs is basically at the top of the site here, it would say home, blog, the category which is web design, and then the name of the article. So here we can see we're on this article. We've come from the web design category, which is inside the blog, which is part of the whole website as a whole. And this is all clickable, so we can go back and forward anytime we want. Now, you're currently running on the WordPress platform, as we can see here. So you can actually bring a plugin into play to show this. It's called Breadcrumbs, and it can be found within the external resources document once again. Now, moving on to the contact page of your website. At the moment, you've styled this page and you've also added capture in place, which is fantastic. However, you're currently selling online, so you need to utilize this page to its full potential. And what I mean is basically use this contact page to not only offer methods to contact you, but also accredit your business a little bit. So a great way to accredit your business and show people you're an offline entity as well as online, and I can trustingly buy from you, is to put your address or your company address or your website address on this page. Now, residential or commercial, it doesn't matter because the chance of someone turning up on your door are very unlikely. But by having this address on this page, you are really giving, you could say, private information over to the users, and it shows that basically we can trust you as a buyer, as a user, and I'll feel safe buying with you because I know a little bit more about your company information. However, when you're selling products for $100+ and I don't see a lot of company information, only the parent company, which we see when we click About Us, then it really does put me off as a buyer. I want to see this information on your site, and I want to see information such as your address. And finally, the last point to mention on your site is a simple point, which is basically your 404 page. Now, a 404 page is a page which shows when we visit a URL on your website that doesn't exist. So, for example, your domain/XX. Now, this is a simple improvement. Here we can see you've got an error message. It's well written. It says, sorry, the page, etc. can't be found. You can also contact us by using the contact us if you need more information. Now, really quick edit, really quick improvement. Link this contact us here rather than put it in quotations. So when we click it, we're easily sent to your contact us page, and it's a lot more user friendly rather than telling us to click it elsewhere. Now, that completes the video review. I've mentioned numerous points in total. If you have any further questions or need any help, please feel free to contact me. If you need help directly implementing this work, please feel free to contact me for a custom price. But once again, thank you for your order via Fiverr.com.